I'm Louise Fullwood. I'm a lawyer at Pinsent Masons, and I'm a co-lead of Work Package 8, and that's the Pioneer Work Package, which is responsible for looking after the legal, regulatory and ethical matters. The main focus, because we're at quite the early stage of the Pioneer project overall, is to ensure that we are having sight of how data is intended to be gathered, liaison with data set providers, and the contractual arrangements under which we're exploring those uses of data and working out how we will access the data and what we will do with it, so that we can help ensure that we're acting at all times in accordance with best practice for legal, regulatory and ethical considerations. At the moment, it's a fairly early stage, so I don't think we've thoroughly flushed out the issues with data providers. At the moment, they are tentatively open to the principles and the concepts. Where we envisage issues arising is as the contracts themselves are put before the legal teams at the data providers, and they're then analysed and scrutinised at a deep level from the legal and regulatory perspective. And that's where we're already starting to see, that's where the real questions of detail are being raised, and we're needing to take steps to make sure that we can address those questions that are raised so that we can move quickly on to getting access to the data. Well, we have two models, both of which ensure that we don't actually have any transfer or processing of personal data at all. So people's identifiable data just is not seen at all by anybody within the Pioneer project, nor is it transferred, so they have absolute security. The ways that we do that are by using two different models. The first is called the federated model, whereby rather than bringing the data into a central place and then analysing it, you actually use computer systems to bring the question to the data, so that the data stays where it is and is just interrogated for queries. The second model is a de facto anonymised centralised model. So in that case, the data does move, but at the point at which it's moved, it's de-identified. So people's identifiers like name, address, any personal information is taken out of that. It then goes to a trusted third party who further carries out anonymisation activities, and it's then at that stage passed on to the Pioneer researchers. So it's uppermost in our mind to ensure that data privacy is very much protected and that we're not doing anything to compromise patient data and security. Well, we're hoping that it will be IQVIA, because they are a large business who have extensive experience in taking this sort of role. They also have high reputation, policies and standards when it comes to protection and privacy of data. Well, during the first year, I think as Pioneer as a whole was looking at where is the data, starting to make relationships with the providers, starting to make the tentative outreach to them to say, what have you got? Would you be willing to share it with us? Have you got any constraints or restrictions you need to let us know about? We would hope that over the next year, we'll be in a position to build on those initial contacts with the data providers and really start to put the data access agreements in place and start gathering and accessing the data, whether it's by the centralised model or the federated model. Prostate cancer is a very serious disease which affects a very large number of people, and anything that can be done to improve outcomes will really improve the quality of life and life itself for a large number of people. And the Pioneer team is made up, I've been really interested to learn over the last year, just fantastically qualified, experienced people and really motivated people who want to be able to make a better life for their patients and for sufferers. And it's very inspiring to be part of a team that's doing that.